Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein and the Road to 100, where today we are back in the Cathedral. We are back off of vacation, and we are ready for the continuation here. It's good to be back, great to enjoy the time off, but it's also good to be back here, figuring out builds and showing you guys what are some of the non-optimal and the optimal ways to make the most out of what the gift system is along with the codes. So welcome to everybody. And today we have an interesting setup here that since we are still running solo, we have to get through the cathedral all the way through this mess, all the way around into Aurora's chambers. And today we will be knocking on her doors here in the cathedral to make sure that we can do the invasion right over here at the beginning, and as well as getting through without as much pain as possible. And so the interesting thing about today is that if you do have Queen, excellent, go ahead and run it. However, if you don't, there is another version that you can run with Isis, and you can see that it's exactly the same thing, same build, same everything, same quickness, same mobility. I mean, a few different stats, a little bit more physical damage because the dex of B here. However, you do lose out a little bit on the gifts of light and dark. You do lose a little bit of HP, you gain a little bit of stamina, but none of that is really that important. You have about the same amount of defenses and everything, and so Isis is kind of like budget queen. And so if you don't have Queen, that's fine. You can make the same exact thing out of Isis here. And so we are going to be running the Queen version, just to go for the top end of what this build can kind of top out here with Queen. But that would be my recommendation. If you don't have Queen, go for Isis and you can run this same exact setup all around. So now the trick and main focal point of exactly what we are going to be going for here is we will be wanting to make sure that we have the ability here, to make sure that we have enough range on the enemy, while at the same time having enough health to regen from our backstabs and our kills, because every time we get a backstab or every time we get a kill, we get 5% of our health back. Now that may not seem like a lot, but sometimes it is just enough health to make sure that we get back enough health on when we kill something. If we get hit by an enemy just before we die and we kill that enemy outright, there is a chance that we can go for a kill on those enemies before that happens. Kind of as you can see there. Okay, and time to go for some slashing bits here. Okay. Alright, good enough. Now this invasion is exceptionally tough, especially with monkeys. Okay, let's run past these folks here, just to make sure that we are going to be in a position to fight here. So we will also push the spawn point here. Oh, ouch. Okay, so as you can see, this is the danger and potential that this build will run into, is the problem with multiple enemies trying to single them out one at a time, and using your iCore well enough to make sure that we have everything we need in order to make sure that we can have all of the attacks appropriate at each time that we need to have them. So unfortunate here that we are obviously taking these hits so hard, but you can see that once we attack an enemy that we are one-on-one with, it is a fairly simple endeavor. We really should be in zero danger of one-on-one encounters, just because of the fact that we are able to carry ourselves exceptionally well during those kinds of attacks. However, when we get with more than one enemy, that is when the tragedy starts to befall us, and you'll see here that we'll try our best. Okay. But that is what Aurora Flash is for these enemies, because they are so weak to Ice Slash. It will be a great ability for us here. Okay. And there we got hit, but that was 10% of our health that we got back because we killed 2 enemies at one time. Whoa. That was much longer distance than I thought that enemy. I thought we dodged out of the way. Apparently we did not. Okay. So this invasion, very, very tough because we are only allowed 1 hit basically before we are dead. And that is the challenge when you have multiple enemies chasing you, following you everywhere. However, our Ichor Drain is fairly healthy at 1.29. So that is not a real concern for us there. Okay, let's just blow a little bit of Ichor here on this fine specimen. Now, it is important that with this next guy, we do get both backstabs. However, on that last one, we only got 1 backstab, and then we got the camera betrayed us, and that's why we didn't get the second backstab. So let's see here. There's 1, and hopefully we are adept enough to get the second backstab here. Nope. Okay. Not adept at all. Okay. So as we start, we will need a bunch of backstabs here to start, just to make sure that we are getting enough Ichor to defend ourselves here. Okay. Good. Monkey down. Oh boy, we're dead. Yep. I thought about it too late that we should have just stood there for the parry instead of going for the backstab, and that is where this invasion can hurt beyond anything else. Is that if you do get hit by 1 enemy, the stagger delay is just enough to make sure that you don't have enough ability to actually recover. And these enemies are nice because 2 pokes with the spear and you will stagger them. So it's excellent that we don't have to worry about their balance at all. We just hit them twice and they end up staggering over, and we are able to dispatch of them very, very quickly, very, very easily. So we will make our way through this invasion here, as painful as it is. That is obviously, remember, one of the objectives of the Road to 100 is to make sure that we do all the invasions. Why did that not activate? I was in far enough. There we go. Oh, there's 2 of them. Okay. Alright. Now, this is when things start to get out of hand here. So let's make sure that we are good. Okay, let's go for a launch if we can. Well, a parry is good enough. Are we dead? Yep, we sure are. So there is a fine case of getting hit by 2 enemies, perfectly timed right out of a backstab. or a parry, which is why playing, again, playing solo, it just delays things so much longer than they need to be drawn out, because you have to play perfectly in time with those parries, and if you miss one, as you saw, you pay for it by repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And so this is where a partner for invasions like these is key and paramount. I mean, let's be honest, the idea of, well, just don't get hit and then you won't need a partner, that does not really apply to Vayne, because the timings of the enemy attacks are so perfect. They do not attack until you come out of your iframes of the animation, and it's happened so very many times for that to be the case, that it feels exceptionally planned in the roughly 2,000 hours I've been playing through here. Okay, let's head over here. Okay, now we do need to pick up our haze here. And this guy, yep, perfectly timed attacks there that he's always got. Okay. Alright, now we do have to go for this giant lady here. And we do need to, there we go, we do need to run this way. Okay, now we should be able to, yep. See, they time their attacks so very perfect in order to catch me out on those attacks. Okay. Well, somehow we just glitched that fine specimen through the wall there. That was definitely very strange. Okay. Let's keep it moving here. This is good. Okay. Oops. Alright, now we are getting pushed pretty far back this way, so we'll have to give ourselves a little bit of room here. Alright. Now... Okay, now we should be able to double attack, double launch here. Good. And now unload all the lightning. Oh, monkey. Definitely kill this stupid monkey. Excellent. Okay. Now you can see that as we do engage here a little bit, we do have, oh, we are at the very end here. So this is very dangerous now that we have both of these enemies here together. So it is very, very important that we try and catch each one out separately here. Okay, launch. Now the thickums here, we are going to have to take care of that one here. Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay, now we should be fine here in order to take this one out. Nope. Wrong parry timing. Almost feels like we're going for the claw there. Okay, great. Whew, okay. All crises averted for the time being. So very tough invasion, very difficult, very brutal, very challenging, but we are able to make it through. And the best thing that we can have going for us is a couple of attacks and then back up and continue those over and over. The best thing we can do is provide space around us to make sure that we always have enough distance between us and the enemy. So very, very important. Here we will go for Cleansing Light, even though this enemy over here will kill us in just about one hit right now. So we probably should heal up, but where's the fun in that? Oops. I did not see the slash coming. Unfortunate, but at least we got the invasion out of the way. So we should be able to make our way forward. Now, what's interesting about the Cathedral is that when we did the floating mod, when we did the hover mod, we were able to basically skip most of the Cathedral. However, it is very interesting that regardless of how you would go around the Cathedral, there are so many invisible walls here that it's very, very unfortunate that you can't simply go straight to the end. You have to kind of take the prescribed path, because even though it looks like it's all open and there's just all this artifact in the way here and stuff, now here, like, we could float up there to that walkway or float down. However, the interesting reality is that there are strange invisible walls everywhere in the area here, and if there was a mod to show us exactly where those were, it would be kind of confusing as to why there are walls in certain areas, like from here to there. There are walls in the way, even though it looks like, well, it's completely open and nothing there. So very, very interesting how that actually turns out to operate here in the Cathedral. That even if you could go past certain areas by floating or whatever, you still wouldn't be able to get past just because of the fact that you have no ability to actually get over those walls or glitch through them or something like that. So very intriguing. But for the most part here, what we have running, we have plenty of firepower here to make sure that we make quick work of pretty much any enemy that comes across us. So the Cathedral, we will be taking our time through here. No real reason to rush it at all. And we will make sure that we play with these builds enough to kind of get a feel for how the solo single player experience here operates, and we will be able to make quick work of these ladies here, because every 2 hits, remember, you will stagger them, and they just have to be regular hits. They don't have to be anything special or big or required. And the interesting thing is that this is the spear that will do it. The Impaler is a little bit different, but for the most part it is 2 hits, and so you can use either the Impaler or the Cerulean Spear. I prefer the Impaler or the Cerulean Spear because of the lighter weight. And as you can see, if we go here for the Cerulean or for the Impaler, this would be lighter. I don't have the alleviated version, but it would be, since it's 47 and here we're at 45, it's 2 weight lighter, so add like 1 and a bit here, and so it would be just over the halfway mark here for Queen, and we would be normal mobility, which is unacceptable in my book. It's a quick or nothing for this build set, because you do need to get away from the enemy very, very quickly, and so it's in your best interest to use the Cerulean Spear just for that quick mobility. But also quick mobility is good because we are running Swift Destruction, and quick mobility gets us that 20% damage increase for our gifts, for our weapon, and for our drain attacks. So very, very important that we keep that quick mobility. The difference between this and the Impaler is not worth the 10% damage decrease because of swift destruction. So important to keep that in mind as to why we are doing what we are doing here. Now these enemies, very, very nice that we have Aurora Flash here along for the ride. You can see there, 7,000 damage, absolutely incredible. And if we had Merciless Reaper, we would do a whole lot more damage than that because they do have a 10% weakness to slash. So very, very good that we can take advantage of that here. Okay, and again, one-on-one with these enemies, it is very tedious and whatever, but very, very quick, simple to dispatch of them. So no problems there. So every time we do come across these enemies here, we should not be despairing in any way because we will be able to dispatch of them very, very easily and quickly. But you can see that one hit was about 30% of our health, and so that is very, very dangerous that we have literally no defenses, and so it is very, very dangerous for us when we are running here in the Cathedral because we have no defenses to speak of, and that attack there that she was going to do, that was probably going to end us, even though we have pretty much 3,000 HP. Okay, this parry will kill, so that'll be 10% of our health, and that should put us right back up to full, so very good. I consider that enemy there kind of a battery recharge station for our iCore and our health if we are playing into the health regeneration techniques as we are right now. And so it's kind of useful to play that way. Now here it is just a matter of lightning barrage and blast bolt as much as humanly possible here to make sure that we take these enemies out very, very quickly. And the combination of blast bolt with lightning barrage is very, very powerful and potent. And if we can get a backstab here, there we go. That will help us on our iCore concerns here. Very, very good. And again, remember, if you don't have Queen, you can run Isis through here if it is your second playthrough. If you didn't get Queen on your first playthrough, run Isis and it will do you just fine for what you're going to be needing along the way here. And so it's very, very good to run one or the other. You don't necessarily have to run Queen or Isis, whichever, but they both do the job just similar as each other. So there's no real big differences. The only difference being that we have a little bit more HP here on Queen. Not much. 12 HP is literally 0 at this point in the game for this difficulty, but it is something good that we do have nonetheless. Whoa, okay. That was unexpected. Okay, but as you can see, we are slowly regenerating our health there, which is nice, and we got all the iCore we need. So that was a bit of a sticky business there. I did not expect her sword slash to go all the way around. Okay, I would have liked to have gotten a backstab there, but no big deal. And as we continue to run around, when we get to the runway here, we can switch over to lightning charge, and we can zip through here Okay. And if I could menu a little faster, it would be even that much better there. But no big worry. We can recover Ichor on this guy and get a little bit of our business going here. Okay. We'll just go for Ichor and health from these guys. No big deal. And we'll just be on our merry way. So the rest of the cathedral now will be fairly simple, except for the other invasion, which we will get to tomorrow. We will not be getting to that invasion today because it is stacked behind the Berserker over there, and we will not be doing those kinds of activities for right now. We will just take ourselves up to the Berserker place. Oh, that's right. That's not this guy. That's that guy over there. But you'll notice that we are pretty low on stamina basically all the time because we are in a fight for stamina management with this setup because our weapon is very good, very useful, especially with our ability to use our weapon very effectively and get big Ichor recovery from using our weapon. And so between that and the dodging and so on and so forth, we definitely have some stamina management concerns that we do need to pay attention to along the way. However, this build setup here, as you can tell, it does have some pretty considerable power when you are talking about one-on-one single enemies. Obviously, these guys are a pretty poor example of what is very strong about this build and such, because pretty much anything is strong against these guys. But it is very, very nice that that we do have the power to completely annihilate pretty much anything in our path if it is one-on-one single enemy against us. Even though this enemy here is very, very tough, and she does incredible amounts of damage, we are able to mitigate pretty much everything that she is in favor of doing things in a fair and balanced manner here. And as you can see, we are able to pretty much have our way with her, no problem at all, and we're able to completely obliterate it, no problems at all. Same thing here. We do have these enemies, and as you can see, yet again, one-on-one type encounters here in the cathedral for this setup are pretty much zero consequence. Excuse me. And the Berserker is kind of a little bit different of a fight that we're gonna run next tomorrow, and so we'll probably run the Berserker and his area tomorrow, and then we will run the invasion after that, and then we will run Aurora after that. So it'll be a full week of cathedral business here, but I just wanted to kind of show that you can start to find duplicate codes where one just does something a little bit better than the other one. But don't be afraid to try and build, two codes the same, because sometimes you never know where you are in a game. And especially here in Vayne, if you're doing challenge runs and such, there's different codes that you can have at different times that basically do the exact same thing. So kind of interesting all around there. And as you can see, there is plenty of power. It's just when the invasion hits and you are attacking 2 and 3 and 4 enemies sometimes all at once, this does have some shortcomings, but that's why we have the AoEs of Aurora Flash and Volatile Storm. These do help us considerably at range, at distance, close up, and AoE. So, and then we have our single target damage gifts here in Lightning Barrage and Blast Bolt. And then Ichor recovery and speed increases all around because we are solo, so we have to get more gifts off in a timely fashion. Otherwise, it spells death for us. So we need to shorten those windows for the enemy to throw off their attack timings. So very, very important to have double gift accelerators here. So anyways, that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.